Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for checking into the Rocky Mountain YouTube channel. My name is Chase, and today we have a good video for you. We have the different light bars and auxiliary lights that we offer from Baja Designs. And today we just want to go through and talk about them and talk about what are the differences between these to help you decide which one might be best for you, depending on what type of riding that you're going to be doing, your needs, as well as your budget. So hopefully by the end of this, you'll have a good idea of which setup, which light bar or auxiliary lights are going to be the best for you. Now, before we dive into it, though, a little background knowledge. So LED stands for light emitting diode. There's no light bulbs inside a light bar. So, and the way these work is that you actually have circuits inside these, and when a current goes through that circuit and it goes through the diode, it emits the light. And that's how an LED light bar works. Another thing I do want to point out is when it comes to light bars, a name or a word that you hear thrown around a lot is lumens. And a lumen is just a measurement of how much light these give off. And you're going to hear people throw out some big numbers with light bars. But what you have to remember is that it doesn't matter how bright your light bar is if you don't have a good reflector design. And the reflectors are just the actual, you can see the covers and that you have in front of the actual LEDs. And the reason that those reflectors are so important is that it takes all that light and it points it and directs it where you actually want that light to be so it's usable. If you don't have a good reflector design, you're gonna have a lot of that light is lost and you're not gonna be actually using all the light that you could potentially have there. So just a couple things to keep in mind. That being said, Baja Designs, when it comes to light bars and auxiliary lights, they're one of the leaders in the industry. If you go to any off-road race, dirt bikes, the Baja, you're gonna see a lot of the top riders using Baja Designs. All their light bars, all their auxiliary lights are shock and impact tested. They're all very weatherproof, dust resistant, waterproof. You can pressure wash these things. So when it comes to just construction, you've got aircraft grade aluminum that they're using to build these things. So they're just built extremely well. So you are making a big investment here, but you do get what you pay for. So what we have up on the table is we have the S8, we have the Onyx 6 Plus, we have the XL Linkable, we actually have the Onyx 6 Hybrid, and we have these squadrons that we're gonna be talking about. And a couple other cool features that are pretty unique to Baja Designs is one, all their light bars and auxiliary lights use Cree LEDs, which are very high quality, but also they use what they call their copper drive technology. And inside those circuits, they actually use copper versus aluminum. And the reason for that is they say that copper does a much better job of dissipating heat because heat is an enemy to a light bar. So it dissipates that heat, it gets it to the heat sinks much better and gets that out of the lighting versus aluminum that you see in a lot of other light bars. So that is something that's pretty unique to them. But let's talk about this. All right, so first up, you have the S8. So the S8, and you could call this the entry-level light bar that they offer, but I really don't like to use that term just because the S8 was the premium offering from Baja Designs for a while. And so now they've come out with the Onyx 6 Plus, which we'll talk about, but they still offer the S8, which I think is phenomenal just because this is still a very, very good light bar. We offer this in multiple different sizes from a 10 all the way up to a 30 inch. And there's a couple unique features about the S8 that people really like. So first of all, just looking at it, it's got a sleek, low profile look that a lot of people like. You just have this single row of the LEDs, and all of these lights up here will come with a driving combo, which means you're gonna have your spot and your flood reflectors on these. But the S8, it's slim, it's low profile, it's still very, very bright. A 10-inch light bar with the S8 puts out about 4,000 lumens. And again, it was at one point the best selling or the best light bar that they had. Now they come out with other options, but it's still affordable. And really, if you're just a casual weekend rider and you're just looking for a really good light bar, but don't want to go all out and spend the extra money on some of these others, this thing is phenomenal. So the S8, still a rock solid light bar. Keep in mind too that a lot of these do come with specific mounting kits for different machines. So to know if it's gonna fit yours, you just enter the year, make, and model of your side-by-side that you're shopping for, and that will show you the kits that are available that will come with mounting options, or you can, for a lot of them, just buy the light bar by itself. So something to remember. Now from the S8, you make the bump up to the Onyx 6 Plus. And the Onyx 6 Plus is the latest and greatest from Baja Designs. And this light bar really is for, I would say, more of the racer. If you're out there, you're going at really high speeds in the wide open, and you just want the brightest light bar that you can get, and you want to get that light even farther down the trail, then the Onyx 6 Plus are going to be great for you. Make a pretty big jump in price, but it's pretty crazy to say this because, you look at the S8, this thing is super bright, but the Onyx 6 Plus, they say, is about 69% brighter than the previous generation. And just to give you kind of an idea, remember how I said the 10-inch S8 was about 4,000 lumens? Well, a 10-inch bar in the Onyx 6 Plus, over 12,000. So it's quite a bit brighter. They use our high-speed spot reflectors in the Onyx 6 Plus as well, which is gonna help get that light even farther down. So if you want the brightest light bar that you can get, and you want that light going farther down trail, then the Onyx 6 Plus will be great. Another cool thing about this is that it does have a high and a low beam setting, which the S8 does not have. So if you want the ability to adjust the amount of light that it's putting out, you can do that. So again, the Onyx 6 Plus, latest and greatest, incredibly bright. So again, for racers, if you're flying out there at super high speeds and you want the most light, that's what you want. Now up here in the front, you have the Onyx 6 Hybrid, and we just offer this for Can-Am X3 owners. This one actually is designed to mount right up to your shock tower of the 10-inch version. But this light bar right here is really just designed for race scenarios. Or if you're the guy that is going, you know, we're talking about 100 plus miles per hour out in the desert and you need to see as far down the trail as possible, that's what this light bar is built for. And if you look at the price, you might think, man, what am I paying for with just a 10-inch light bar? But it's pretty unique. They have their laser technology. And no, I don't mean that this thing is shooting laser beams out down the trail. Instead, you have two inner LED or laser chips, and then you have your 4 LED chips on the outside. So it's giving you those laser chips, and what's unique about those is how far it can throw the light down the trail. In fact, they say about 350% farther than what the Onyx 6 Plus can do. So again, that's why we're talking just about those super high speed kind of race scenarios where you need the light out that far. But one thing you'd have to remember too is that with that light being thrown out so far, it is very concentrated. And so think of it this way, the normal spread of say the Onyx 6 Plus is about 45 degrees. With those lasers, it's 1.5. So it's not gonna be a very widespread light. This would really be just to complement maybe a light bar that you already have on your side-by-side. So it's just something to keep in mind there. But again, talking about Can-Am X3 owners out there using that laser technology. Now over here, this is the big dog. This is the XL Linkable, and this has actually been a very, very popular light bar for side-by-sides. And what makes it unique is that you have the XL lights on here, it's the XL Sports. There's 6 of them, and these things are pretty cool. So what's unique about these is that this one is adjustable. So when you look at how it's put together, each segment or each XL Sport can be adjusted. So if you want to be able to customize the light bar to get the lights pointed exactly how you want them, that's what this light bar really just allows you to do. Also, I just know a lot of people, they just like the look of it. They like having the look of those 6 different XL Sports on there. So again, these are very, very bright. They do a phenomenal job. If you want some adjustability and you like the look of this, it's a really good option. And then last but not least, you have the Squadrons here. You have the Squadron Pro and the Squadron Sport. And these are very, very popular auxiliary lights. You can buy just the XLs by themselves or the Squadron Pros. And the Squadron Pro or the Squadron Sport are lights that you can use on side-by-sides, but we use these on our adventure bikes all the time. So these transition from bikes to UTVs really, really well. And these are just there just to complement the light bar that you already have. I wouldn't say just go buy these to have them just, you know, your only lighting on your side-by-side, but if you already have a light bar, but maybe you want to have these for a little bit more near side, or maybe you can point them out towards the side for your peripheral vision, it complements your light bar really, really well. On our adventure bikes, you know, we'll put 1 or 2 of these on the bike, and it's just going to give us that much more lighting. So phenomenal lights. We've been using them for years. They work extremely well. Now, one thing I do want to point out is when you look at the XL Sports and then you look at the Squadron, something kind of unique here is that, so the Squadron Pro puts out more lumens and is brighter than the Squadron Sport. But the Squadron Sport's still plenty bright, but if you want the most light out of an auxiliary light of this size, go with the Squadron Pro. But when you look at the Squadron Sport and the XL Sport, well, it says that they actually have the same amount of lumens. So you might think, well, how is this one any brighter? Here's what you need to know, is that the XL Sports on this light bar had the same reflector technology as the Onyx 6 Plus. So that's how this is gonna put out more light than just the Squadron Sport would, is because you're making that light more efficient and again, getting it farther down the trail. So that's really the big difference there. And that's it. Those are the light bars and the auxiliary lights that we offer from Baja Designs. So hopefully this has kind of helped sum it up for you. Again, Casual rider just looking for a really good light bar that is still fun, like extremely bright, but it's going to be at a lower price point, the S8. If you want the most performance, the most light, you want it farther down the trail, then yes, the Onyx 6 Plus, again, for you Can-Am owners, Onyx 6 Hybrid, you got that laser technology. Again, we're talking just really a race scenario, super high speeds out in the desert. You've got the XL Linkable. Looks-wise, people love it. Puts out a ton of light, and it is adjustable. Also, what is nice too, one thing I forgot to mention about the Linkable is that it does come with rock guards for each one of these lights. So you can put those on there if you're not going to be using it, just to help protect the lights a little bit. And then you have, of course, the Squadron Pro and the Squadron Sport. Great auxiliary lights to complement your light bar you might already have or for your adventure bike. And that does it. Hopefully this will help you decide. Remember, a lot of these, like I said, do have mounting kits available for different machines. So enter the year, make, and model on the product page when you're picking yours up. Last thing I will say that is unique to Baja Designs as well, that's cool, is that if you buy any one of their light bars or their auxiliary lights, you can actually buy different screens or different covers. So if you want to go from a combo to just a spot or just a flood, they sell different lenses that you can interchange to do that if you do want to. So that's another option that you have with their lighting setup. Questions or comments? If you have one of these light bars, we would love to hear your feedback. So make sure to leave that in the comment section below. To see all the different options today, click on the link in the description or head over to RockyMountainaTVMC.com. All of these up here are going to ship for free. All orders over $75 due. And if you like this video and you want to see more like it, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and that way you will always stay up to date on videos like you just watched. I am Chase, and we'll see you on the trails.